Okay, the slides are. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to this yet another event for the wonderful Bucharest Software Craftsmanship community. This event is recorded and live streamed on YouTube, but it is technically possible. It's basically shared first of all for the members of the community, Bucharest Software Craftsmanship. The link I will paste it on YouTube. If you don't know about us, join us, completely free. But of course, this can't be possible without our friend Marko here, who will be telling us about building a team culture. That's a hot topic for many of the clients of the companies that I work with. They ask me, Victor, what can I do? What can I do to make people more, to care more, to be more involved, to raise their technical skills? How to do that? And I'm really looking forward to see what Marko has to share with us. So, Marko, the stage is yours. How can I say?
Thank you, Victor. I will try to be 1% of you.
No, come on.
Okay, so as Victor said, we spoke about that to have some presentation about team culture and team practices. So after that talk, we decided to create some presentation and share our practices and knowledge that we have accomplished. So I will start by telling a bit about me. So I work professionally from 2014. And I'm loyal to Badinsoft company, and this is company located in Niš, and it's young company. So in that year, that company didn't exist, but we now have over the 130 employees. So, but in that company, I worked with a lot of clients. So I have a lot of experience with Oracle database, Java, working on high performance banking systems of financial institutions with my Microsoft SQL Server, etc. Also, I'm a team or tech lead, however you call it, for more than 5 years. So I had downsides in there. I know the bad practices, how not to be. I know the good practices. And today I'm still Java backend developer, and I help professional Java developers to optimize their work using, of course, best practices, new technologies, methodologies, so they can build great code and architectures, become amazing team players, and grow to reach high seniority and team leadership positions. This is my website. Down. I don't have too much articles, but you can read those and let me know what you think about them. Just to let you know, this is my first presentation in English, so don't mind if I don't say something right. And this is my team. This is from New Year's celebration, and we didn't have Simki, so someone did it like this. Okay, so first of all, I think that for every developer is very important to understand difference between team of individuals and agile team. So team of individuals, as we can see here on this image, every team member communicates with one person, and that one person knows everything, and all this team member doesn't know what person next to him works. So this creates problems because we can have not just duplication of code, we can have duplication of business logic and work, because they are working on similar stuff. They are not aware of that, but they are working on similar that. Also, because this man only knows what he has done. If he gets fired or gets on the other company, it's very difficult for company to replace him. So they usually company hires him as external consultant, but it's not good also for him because that person needs to move on. So it's like in football. If you have individuals that are very good, but they don't play as a team, they will lose from good team that is very good and very well organized. Because of that, we have now in Agile the team members that are collaborate with each other. So it's not communication just in one direction with one person, but each team communicates with other persons. And bad side for this one is that this team cannot grow very large. So if we have very big team, then the number of these connections will grow exponentially, and that communication will not be possible. So it's good idea to break that team into different ones. Now, when we understand that, I will speak about some meetings that we have in my team that we found out to be very useful. Those meetings are not standard, so not agile, not anything. So this is just something that we came up with. And first of those meetings is a daily warm-up. And idea why we introduced that daily warm-up, it's each day, as name says, and we start work at 9 a.m. But we have a daily meeting in 9:45. So 45 minutes before that, we have that working time. And usually we don't spend it very productively. And because of that, we agreed to create this meeting and to do something productively before the daily meeting. How it works? So it's usually our developers only, and we try to do this. Different person leads a meeting each day. I cannot say that this works 100%, but we try to do that, and we do following stuff. So first of all, we check the backlog. So we are checking if anything is changed in tickets in progress, if we have something that is new there, and we check if I don't know, we need to update something. Second stuff is it's very important to put comments on the tickets. So we developers don't like to put comments. It's usually that practice that developers are technical people, so they don't like doing that administration. So it's much it's more important for developers to finish the job than to enter the comments and do that administration and bureaucracy. But for people that are giving us the work and tickets, it is very important to know the status of the ticket. So it's very important to have all the tickets updated, and for us it's easier to do it together. So in that meeting we say at the beginning, guys, let's fill first all the tickets, like say check that tickets backlog and update the comments, and when all other team members start filling up the comments, it's it gives you how to say power to update your tickets also. And we saw the difference on the daily meetings, because before that product owner and our squad lead was not happy because we didn't update our comments, but now they're smiling all the time. So that's great to see. So comments are very important on the tickets. We also use this meeting to exchange knowledge and experience. So, for example, if some team member has some very interesting and specific problem, he he can explain us what he is dealing with, or maybe he has some problem with resolving the ticket. So we whole as a team check the problem, and we whole try to help that person to make him finish the ticket as soon as he can. So it's very important to have that culture to collaborate each other, to communicate. It's I think that the time when one developer creates one feature that is very complex and nobody else understands that is in the past. So we need to communicate, and we need to, that developer, I don't think I would not hire that developer. I'm 100% sure. So also when someone learns something, we do presentation there, so we can also share that knowledge. Another good thing about this meeting is that because not just our team is working on the code, so we go check the commits, check to see what is new committed on the code. Are there any changes that affect our development? And also we sometimes when we don't understand some specific part of the application, we go to that application, we open application, try to understand from the user point of view how that works, and also check the application in the application code to see how that actually is working, because this is only source of truth. Okay. And also we can also discuss about some programming concept or technology. This is another meeting that we have. So it's not part of the standard Scrum methodology or Agile. It's not in the books, but Agile says that teams can organize how they want. So this meeting is held at the second part of the day. And we start working at 9 a.m. So it's 2:15 p.m. for our time. And this meeting is first we organized this meeting because we had problems during the implementation. When we started working on this project, we knew too little about application business logic, and we worked remote, so we could not ask the people in person. So this is applicable to this COVID time, and it was easier for us to organize another meeting and to resolve those questions as soon as possible. But this meeting also evolved. So on the daily meeting, we go through the tickets and see status, and we commit to do something during the day. So at this daily status check meeting, we report our progress, and this is good for several reasons. It's because I committed to do something, it pushes me to complete, to have something done till 2 o'clock. So usually I'm not productive during the mornings, but this gives me motivation to work and to have something completed till 2 o'clock. And also we can solve problems quicker. So if I start working on something and I have some questions I don't know who to ask or have some unresolvable problems. So this is the time when I will report to team and to see how we can solve the problem.
I have two questions from the audience. The first is about the first warm-up meeting, the morning one. How long does this take? This from YouTube. it's what, 45 minutes, if I understood correctly, right? From 9 approximately to
Well, it's 35 minutes. It's not
35.
45 minutes because we get 10 minutes for people to prepare their working place or maybe check mails or emails or something like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
And from modeling on Zoom, is the daily status a bit surprised? I can see, isn't done in the stand-up in the morning?
Yeah, we also had to maybe mix those understanding, but it's this meeting. It's not the same. On the daily morning, we are going through the tickets. So we go open the board and we go to tickets and report, check the statuses of those tickets. And on the status check, all the people are reporting how they are progressing with the work they are committed for that day. So it's not the same. It's similar, but it is not the same.
Marko, can I join? Hi all, I'm Alexander. I'm from Marko's team. And in our team, we have guys that do like this daily status check, and we have guys who do not like it. So me personally, I really like this daily status check, which happens at the mid time of our workday, because I have some when I commit to something in the daily stand-up, I have some obligation to have something done, like meaningful, for that second status check, and it makes my first part of the day really productive, because that's the time when I'm most productive, in order to have something for daily status check, and then everyone are happy because I have done something, and then that relaxed me for the second part of the day, when I personally everything that I do in the second part, I look at it as some kind of extra bonus, because I have already done good part for the status check. So that is good practice for me, and also like it states on slide, we can help our colleagues and communicate. So it's good for me to look at the day as a two-part rather than one part all the time.
One question which I see concerning George, at least, more meetings, yay! Can you tell us how long are these status checks?
15 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes is scheduled meeting, but sometimes it just takes 5 minutes. For example, do you have something to report? Do you have any problem? No, everything is good. I am working on my ticket as planned, and we finish it in 5 minutes. So this is our team practice. So it's not mandatory for people, but it become we saw it useful because we are synchronizing each other. Every team member is aware of other team member, and we unblock other colleagues if they have some problem.
One more question, if I may. Carmen, people don't carefully listen to daily meetings, and then they say you were not clear enough, blaming you that they then didn't understood what you said in the morning. How do you deal with them?
Can you repeat? Sorry, Victor.
Some people say some people are not paying attention in the morning meeting, and then later on they say they didn't understood what they should do. Did it ever happen? And what do you do with that?
Well, it will be later. It will be later on, but it's giving feedback after that. You have to say that person, and team have to give that person feedback. So this is the tool how it's working.
Okay.
And don't be afraid to give feedback because maybe that person is not aware of that. Okay, Another meeting. So I'm not sure how. I think that some teams are working still, but I wanted to add it here. It's a technical refinement. So when I started working, there was not Agile, at least in my company, but I had my team leader at that time. That when we get some job to work, we organize meeting as a whole team, and usually we have to develop some feature. And for that feature, we do brainstorming. So as the whole team, we know each team member has knows some part of the puzzle, and when we gather as a whole team, we create much better solution than each individual would do that. So we also started working here those technical refinements. So it's usually once per sprint or twice. It depends. So of work that we need to refine. And if there is too much work to refine, so we schedule more meetings. If there is not too much, and if the tickets are not too complex, then we have less those meetings. This ticket is to better understand requirements. And why is that important? If you understand requirements before you start working on that, you will find what is missing of information before you even started working on the ticket. So for me, it happens maybe all the time that I start working on the ticket, and when I start implementing, I have some questions. When I integrate, what will happen in that situation? What will happen if the code is so maybe some limit cases, but you need to ask a product owner how the application should behave in those cases. And when you start to integrate your solution into existing system, you can have additional problems. So it's better practice to work with your team to check the code, to maybe we even did prototype code. So we implement the solution upfront, so it's not tested, it's not production ready code, but by implementing that prototype code, we were able to extract questions and to ask a product owner upfront for those questions. Okay, so I said get the answers before start with the implementation. This design solution together, it's better solution when you have people around you. They will help you. They as a whole team, they understand better application than you can understand as individual. And also share the knowledge. Okay. Now I will talk about some code review best practices that I found out. I usually do a lot of code reviews. Okay.
Sorry to interrupt, but you allowed me to do that. There is a question here about Isabella that I would like you to answer. What happens if you about this daily afternoon check that you mentioned? Really cool stuff, by the way, I think. How does it work if the task is, let's say, 1 week long?
Okay.
So the task is 1 week long. I have a doubt here by myself. A task of 1 week long, is it a good practice? But still, if it's a longer task, how do you approach this? I mean, what do you say when they come to you in the afternoon?
Well, we say status. So we are clear about that. So in the morning, you have some stages in that ticket. It's a long ticket, but you have stages. So today I plan to I don't know, to implement just one part of that, and you say status about that part of that long ticket. So you don't say the whole. And usually a product owner asks you, when do you expect to be finished? Yeah, and this is when you have to be very, very careful to give the answer for that longer tickets.
All right. So you just take advantage of this meeting and you maybe ask more questions to your colleagues and you ask for a second opinion. Okay, fair enough.
Yes.
And as Thomas noticed, 1 week is too long, right? 1 week for a task, a bit too long. Cool. Thank you.
Okay, so now I will speak about some code review best practices. So like coding, code review also requires you to practice it, and these are the some stuff that I learned during the time. So first one is that you as developer, your primary code reviewer. So don't just rush and create solution and commit and push that create pull request. Check the code, check if everything is all right. So now also in Agile, people are starting to measure how much mistakes you're making. So probably that will be soon. We have practice is for 2 code reviewers. So we have +1 and +2, and +2 is the hard one. So +2 have to do some senior developer, and also that ticket can be returned multiple times to be worked on, and it happens in practice. So it's not that is just here. And this is something that I spoke recently with Venkat, and I asked him how he is doing a code review, and he said, "I check the unit test first." And he checks if everything is working, checks how the developer understands the solution, how the developer understands the problem, and check their clarity. And if everything is clear, then he continues checking other code. Manually testing the changes. This is something that developers, some developers don't believe in that, but if you want to do a good code review, you should do manually testing. It happens for me, and as developers, you should manually test your change. So you see that your solution from the client perspective, and see if there is. It's not just a bug that you can find. You can find some architectural problem or usage problem from that the solution is not designed in the right way. So as a reviewer, if you want to do good review, you should manually test the code. And also it happens that that people who did reviews for me find out the problems during this manual testing. Check the ticket description and comments. So this is if you're not clear with ticket and you don't know what is what that solution should work on, then you should check the description of ticket to see what is the ticket about, and to see the comments. Maybe there is something how the solution will be implemented, and it's usually that information in there. And why to check ticket description? In order for you to understand the problem and to check the developer if he understood well the problem, and maybe he left out something out. So this is very good for you to check the logic of that implementation. Comment anything unclear. Even if you don't know what is, even if you don't understand implementation, so it's not your bad that maybe that developer didn't wrote a very clear implementation. Maybe he needs to create refactor code to create cleaner implementation. Or even if you are not familiar with some technology, then it will be good for you, and it will be very good for you to learn something new. Okay, so we have 2 parts. It's good practice to add recent contributors as code reviewers. So if somebody recently changed that part of code that you are working on, so he will be aware of that behavior of that method and logic is changed. Anyone can participate in review. So maybe the person from other team can write you comment, or you can write to person of another comment. And this is not. You should be professional, so it's easy to get in fight with code reviews. But in the end, you need to check the facts and to see if that is good comment from that person, and if it's good type of comment, you should react on that. Okay, how to write the comments? Well, ask the questions. How this method is working? If it's not clear, so if you don't think that something is necessary, you say, is this required here? Or if the code is not clear, you can say, can we make this more maintainable, and etc. So it's much better not to offense that a person, to do it like in a question way. This is something complement reinforced good practices is something that we often forget, but it is very, very good to compliment people when you see that they're implementing good practices, because it will you will get smile the people. So
let me repeat that myself. Yeah. Please praise your colleagues when you see them doing something a good practice, something that perhaps last month, last week they weren't doing. Please always praise them. It's very super cool. Yes.
Yeah. Explain reasoning. So it's if you just say, can you implement it another way? It doesn't say to a developer why you are commenting. So it should be much better to say, this doesn't look very clean. Can you create cleaner code? Can you break it in for example, more methods? So can you rename variable to have better name? So this is just few examples. And also it's important to suggest important suffixes. So some comments are probably not important as another ones, and if you have some that is very important, you should say this is very, very high importance for you to fix it. By checking code review and also with development, you can look at the code from different angles. And this is something that also Martin Fover and Uncle Bob are talking about. So Uncle Bob is, for example, talking about for looking, you cannot look at code from the correctness perspective and from clarity perspective at the same time. So architectural. So first of all, check the correctness, and you can also check after that for clarity, and you can also have another different views. So there is check the performance, check the security of the code, error handling, how the logs are handling, etc. So Victor added here a link for 2 hats. Maybe Victor, you want to add something?
Yeah, it's an old idea. It's coming from Uncle Bob, from Ketbeck actually, who invented test-driven development and said you can't wear 2 hats at the same time. So you either wear the hat in which you try to make it work, copy pasting from Stack Overflow and doing like copy and pasting from that and trying to make it work. The expand phase, some people mention it, and then in the contract phase, after you make it work, you contract it to the bare minimum to make it expressive and short and clear. You can't shoot both goals at the same time. So clearly, the hat metaphor, and some people I actually saw in some clients of mine wearing a hat in the office, and they were wearing a different hat, like a beretta when they wanted to make it work, and like a hat of a detective when they wanted to make it beautiful. So, yeah. And yeah, that's the third metaphor. Yeah, there is one more hat later added. Try to kill it with tests. Try to find a test that will break it down. And that's the gangster hat. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And some practices that I found out to be very bad. So never do this. First of all is commanding comments. And this is something that I saw last week. Instead of if, use ternary operator, this question mark, but he didn't explain why. So a colleague of mine was struggling. Okay, I need to do this to replace if, but I don't know why I should do that.
The answer to that is no. Explain.
Yeah. Rename variable to etc. Okay, so we have comments that are not understandable. So I had some comments like this. Why are you doing this? Okay, to solve the problem. But and after what I did, please be more clear. And so those types of, and generally avoid whys. So instead of, okay.
Can I jump in here? Sorry for interrupting you. This is super cool. You, the author, challenging the reviewer.
Yeah.
Do you dare to do that, all of you? I mean, you, the author, challenge back the reviewer, asking, okay, you told me to do that. Why? Explain.
Yeah, so, of course. Of course. And just to be aware of people, to tell people that are juniors, you can comment to senior. Everybody can comment code. Everybody can review the code. As long as that comment is, how to say it?
Creative, productive, constructive.
Yeah. As long as the comment is constructive. Yeah. So don't be afraid to comment to senior developers. We are people, and we all create mistakes. Generally, avoid why comments. Why, like, why are you doing like this, and why? And instead of that, try to do some more proposal alternative. So instead of why, you maybe say should you use this algorithm instead of that? I see that this algorithm is maybe better, or etc. And this is the last one. Never be offensive to code. So for example, this code is very, very bad, or this whole commit is very bad, solution is very bad. So it's offensive to people.
And I have a question, one more question from someone in the audience. Yeah. How do you deliver a very bad code review? Let's say the code violates basic solid principles or something dramatically wrong. No, I mean, public fields in entities. How do you explain that? How do you approach?
Well, first of all, you comment everything, as I said. You comment everything, but if you see that some person is very, very bad, we do all the times calls. So call the person. Probably that person is not aware of that. So call the person, schedule a call with him, explain him. It's probably he doesn't understand. So help that person, and you will love yourself because you help that person, and he will be grateful because you also helped him. It's much better in that case. It's much better to have a call. Yeah, this is the last point. And this is another bad practice we had in our team. It's brother, can you do me code review quickly? So I believe you that you write good code. Don't do that. This is bad practice. And this is something like I found out on the internet. So developer says I have code reviewer, so I will not care to write the the solution very, very good, and reviewer says, oh, I believe to this developer, so he's doing a good job, and I will not do I will not go into details in the review. So after that, we will get the bug. We do a lot of pair programming, and we do a lot of calls. Why we are doing this? Because there is something that I don't understand, so I call the colleague. He knows better than me, and we do that in together. So when there is items with very complex business logic, this is very useful to ask one colleague to do some part of the ticket, and maybe another part of the ticket with another colleague, or maybe all three of us. And it is very useful to do it with high priority items. So when you have to do something very quickly, but again, it has to do correctly. It's very good to have another person with you that checks what you have done. How to do pair programming? This is something that Venkat taught me. So, and this is something that the books says you switch on in 10 minutes. But today it's a problem because we are all of us are doing remote development. So we have some tools. For example, there is Code with Me plugin. There are also other plugins. I usually tried this one, Code with Me, but I don't know. I don't find it. It needs more time to develop it and to be better. More than 2 persons, we also do that. So when there is something with complex logic, we call third person, fourth person. It's not a problem. Also this is very, very good mobbing when you have again some high priority item, so you can have product owner also on that call, and directly ask questions for those high priority items in order to be able to solve them more quickly. Okay. Now I will share some best practices that we found out for bug fixing. So we are doing a lot of bug fixes, and we found out that is very good practice to divide the ticket into 3 parts. So first part is to find out the problem. So maybe you need to open the application on the UAT environment or your development environment, check the steps that the user reported, debug from a local environment, check the logs. So the goal on this step is to confirm that there is a bug. And when you find out the bug, it would be very good if you could write the test that confirms that there is a bug. So you cannot do this, unfortunately, in all the times. Maybe there is problem some in configuration or with integration with integrating applications with other applications. But if it's the problem in code, write the test that confirms that there is a bug. Second step, if you don't divide this in those steps, you will create fastest patch that can solve the problem. And this is the problem because sometimes it's not the right solution. So sometimes the problem is much deeper. So even you can change the architecture of the application. There was the bugs that I worked on them that they required to change the architecture of the application. And the third step is also to implement solutions. So plan that ticket for implementation and implement that solution. So maybe you can discuss with people to see how that should be implemented and work on that implementation.
Question from Thomas. He mentioned the zero bug policy, meaning that when you discover a bug, you fix it before doing any other product development. Have you considered this policy, this attitude, or?
Yeah, we are doing that. We are fixing the bugs as soon as we can. We don't have 0 bugs. Unfortunately, we have a lot of bugs.
No, but I mean, you stop the development and you focus on the bugs first.
It depends. We have a priority for bugs. So if they are P0, so we have P0, for example, priority bugs, then we can stop. Developers, we are a team, so it depends. Sometimes it happens that some team member is available, but for P0 bugs, yeah, we stop development. For P1, P2, they are not that critical, and for that case, we are planning those tickets. So it depends. We work with product owner. Okay, so here I will say some general tips that I learned. So first of all, is people need to rely on you. So be realistic when you commit to work. So when you plan your sprint, we had mistake to be too optimistic. So when we started the plan sprint, we have okay, we for sprint goal we will do for sprint commitment. We will do all those tickets. We can do it, and as it happens, there are a lot of side stuff that we need to do, and that because of that work, we usually don't finish something that we had committed to. So we have our reasons because we didn't complete that, but business doesn't understand that, because they say, okay, but you said that you will complete. You had to have to think about those time and that will be taken by additional work. So they are right. So when you do, it's a good idea to be realistic. As I said, comments on ticket are very important. Maybe in some situations, they are more important than the work you have completed. So if it's something urgent and a business needs to speak with client, they need to be aware what he's done. If you have solution but you didn't inform the business, it's like you haven't done anything. And this is for new people that are starting to work. 50 minutes rule for who don't know that. So when you start working on something and it's not clear to you, it's not 15 exactly, but something like that. Try to solve it by yourself. So don't go to your colleague and ask him, it's not clear to me. So it will be all the time, it's not clear. So you will how to say it, break his train of thoughts.
His flow, yes.
Yeah, his flow, yeah. And because of that, try to solve it by yourself, but don't do it too much. So if you cannot do it 50 minutes, half an hour, then ask for help. And here I will share some tips for yourself in order to be able to improve yourself. There is a 5 minutes a day challenge, so you can create with your community and yourself. And this is the point. So you can define a bigger goal for you. For example, you want to read some book or learn Kotlin or I don't know, Clojure. And how do you do it? You say that you will spend at least 5 minutes a day on that goal. This is something small and easy thing that you can do every day. So it's easy for your brain. When you think about it, you can spend 5 minutes a day on that ticket, but usually you spend more time than 5 minutes. And this is the way to finish and complete some work. So you trick your brain to work more than you think. Yeah, the research shows that 80% of the time you spend more time. And in order to be to have more how to say it in English, commitment.
Achievements, no, not more.
Achievements. To have more achievements, you should share your commitments. So you should have your community share that. So there is no judgment if you didn't complete someday. So you cannot do, for example, skip one day and do another day for 2 days. It's 1 day, 5 minutes. So if you skip, you just share. But seeing that other people is also committed to their goal, it helps you being more focused on your goal. And objective is also to build good habits. Okay. This technique is probably a lot of you heard about this, but when you want to concentrate to be more productive, divide the time and move away all the distractions. So the phone is the biggest distraction. Mute the phone. And maybe I saw some colleagues have something on her back back, work in progress, something like it. But you don't have to be like that. But it's good idea to set timer and divide your time. So when you're developing something, move away all distractions also from your computer, and set the timer. So you say, okay, I have 20 minutes to work on this. I will not work anything on here. And this happens to help you, and you will be able to complete your work. So I usually set the timer more than 25 minutes to 45 minutes, but this says take short break 5 minutes and again 25 minutes. For me, it depends. So for example, it's sometimes it's enough 1 hour to finish the ticket. So after that, I have probably some meeting. But if I have some longer ticket, then I create a break for example 5-10 minutes. It depends of my mood. Okay, and this is FocusMate. You have that application website, but it's you don't have to go on this website. You can do it with your friend. So this is Pomodoro Technique on the on muscles.
On steroids.
On steroids, yeah. How it works? So you remember when you was in school, so when you have teacher in front of you, you're yeah, or when you go to library to read something, so you look at other people, everybody is reading something, so it's bad if you don't read. So yeah, and it happens that you start reading and you finish your work. So in COVID times, this is the way. So you schedule call with some person. At the beginning of the meeting, you say what you're planning to complete, and the cameras should be on. You might mute your microphone in order not to distract the person. And at the end, it can usually takes 1 hour. At the end of the meeting, you say report to your colleague what to that friend what you have done. Okay, how to keep the fire burning. This is something that I got from Victor. And this is something, this is how I'm working. So start of the year, it's a great time to work on this. So create better place for you. Imagine yourself, what do you want to accomplish, and how what the person you would be like to be at the end of the year. So write everything down. What would you, for example, you would like to know Kotlin language. You would like to know functional programming to be expert in that. You would like to, I don't know, to know Docker, to know Kubernetes. Write everything down. Describe current situation and maximize your problems. So check what are the biggest problems you have. So think about the problems you have currently, and based on current situation and your better place that you would like to be, filter out or prioritize the items that you want to work on. But if you do it like this, it's a lot of work, so it's hard for your brain. So he says, I'm on this place, but I need to do a lot of work to move to this place. So I will start, but I will see that it's hard. So brain will say, it's good for you. Why do you want to move here? It's okay to be here. And in order for this to work, create a plan. So break your goal into smaller steps. So work in sprints. So create mini goals, and from that mini goals, you will accomplish your bigger goal. I am trainee for the Brazilian Java champion. He's called Bruno Souza. It's a Java man. You can Brazilian Java man. You can Google out if you like. And he said me when I told him that I will hold this presentation, you can give present to your listeners, so you can download this book. It's java.mn, best year. And if you want to find out more about Bruno, you can visit his site. He is man developed to how to say to help you to work on your career, so you can be much better in it. Okay, so I have some tips for leaders. First of all, to be aware that we are all leaders. If not of the team, we are leaders of ourselves. So we are making the decisions for ourselves. Second here is that you should find your mentor. So even if you're senior, and if you don't have mentor, you can also mentor someone. It will help you and that person that is that you are mentoring. Both of you will grow. You will grow. So there is one book, Ego is the Enemy. So this is described that there with Metallica guitar player, how he managed to grow it and to be very professional. Again, be empathic. So talk with people. Don't be one person that is sitting in the office and not speaking and just doing work. So this is not working anymore. And ask the question and listen. So for the leaders, it's very important to listen what others have to say. By listening others, you will understand their position and you will understand their problems, and you will be able to help them. By helping them, people will see a leader in you. So this you don't. It's not that somebody can say you're the leader. You need to become the leader. And also regularly give feedback. So if some person is not doing the work like he should do, then give the feedback to that person, because it usually happens that that person is not aware of that. So we had some people on the meetings doing like wow, and we say to that person, you have to listen to wait, and oh, but I was not aware of that. So and they will not get it as a bad thing, but if you are constructive, they will get it very right. And also you should also ask for feedback regularly in order to be able to improve yourself. We have in company 360 feedback, where every person gives the feedback to each team member, And it's not just that team leaders give feedback to team members. In Agile, we even don't have team leaders, but all of us were giving the feedback, and based on that, we also create a development plan for us. Okay, so
one question. I mean, actually 12 questions.
okay.
How to organize? So maybe as we said, finish the slides, and then we have the questions, and then you can show us Gerrit, right?
Yeah. This is it. This is it from okay. This is Gerrit. So this is thank you.
But wait, no. I want you to answer the question, and then folks, Marko has prepared for us a little demo about one tool they use. It's called Gerrit to enable micro commits and to allow you to break down the pull request into smaller bits. But can I answer the questions now? Is it okay to share over you? Just share the screen so that the questions, as I read them, they become visible. Right. So, model it. How much time on a code review is usually spent? I mean, reviewing. And if it takes a lot of time, would you label the reviewing as a task itself?
Well, it depends on the ticket. So you should not have very big commits. So I saw that practice, for example, one commit with 100 files. How should you be able to review that? And we had very, very nasty production bug in that commit. It was committed just refactoring something, but that guy also changed something else because he was there, and that created very, very nasty bug. So aim for smaller commits, never 100 files, and we usually do it as a column, another column in our sprint board. So there is status in code review.
All right. Okay.
And how do you spend? How much time you need it? So it's much better to have that code review very detailed, because it's code review is most effective way to find out the problems in code and find out bugs before they go into production. So you will save the money to your company.
Okay, so you save the money when that you spend.
Yeah.
Okay, that is time spent. That is time spent. Good, perfectly agree. Spent. Then, but probably the question from Madeline was, what happens if it takes you half a day? Not half a day, 1 hour, 2 hours.
It takes half a day for me.
Wow. So you actually spent half a day reviewing a code.
Yeah, sometimes it's okay if it's big commit.
Big, of course.
Yeah, if it's complex logic, I need to start that code. It's our application is slow, so it's a big Java application. So you need to compile everything. So it happens to. It's usually 1 hour to 2 hours, but it depends on the commit. Yeah.
Okay. Why would you check the unit tests? It's regarding the order that you put the bullets, the order of the bullets. In the slide when you mentioned that you want to review you mentioned there before you mentioned check the unit tests first. And the question is, would this go before you check the description? It's an interesting question. Would you look at the test before reading the requirements, or after? I mean, not sure. I would answer it strangely. So
I'm usually doing check tiki description. So this is maybe I should switch those.
Okay. So maybe
but
this.
When you dive into code, then check the unit test first. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Good. Carmen, that's criminal. But some managers, oh my God, insist to push stuff implementation into testing environment, for QA, I can understand, immediately after implementation, and then do unit integration tests later. I would scream like this, like, no, sorry, like this. That is, I mean, how to answer this? Of course, it can hide bugs, of course, but what if the manager presses you? How do you answer? I know how to answer this, but how would you answer this?
Well,
what happens if they push hard?
There is, well, if you put, they don't know your job better than you. So I understand because when the manager pushes you, but maybe it would be maybe it would be better to try that with your manager to show them that this practice is much better. So when you there is image on Agile, and it says the sooner you find out about the bug, it will be cheaper for the company. So if you push that on the QA environment, and the QA let the QA to find the, first of all, maybe QA won't find out the problem, because QA is doing black box testing, so they're not checking the code, and maybe there is some architectural problem that is in your code, and they cannot find that out. And yeah, this is the one.
Yeah, of course.
And
you have it very clear. I can understand in your side.
You will spend less
tickets.
time. Yeah, you will spend less time fixing the problems. You will when it's in the code review, ticket will be returned back in progress, and you will not forget about that ticket. You will be still there. You will speak with that person, and another person will not be involved yet because that ticket is not prepared. So at the end, it will be cheaper for the company, but they don't still probably that person doesn't understand that benefit.
Software.
Yeah.
Yes, not understand software. And I will quote here, Thomas, find a new job. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you manage the relationship with the managers that do not have the software developer mindset? What's the problem with us buying for you to maintain and evolve the freaking JavaScript application? And you are a Java developer, and they give you a JavaScript one. Right? How do you manage that? And related to that, how do you share with business people to get them on the same table with you, the same page, or the same idea, right? Most of the time they don't understand either how software works, neither do they understand Agile. So this bundled. How do you approach business which doesn't know software, doesn't understand software, but has the power to control?
Well, this is the time where business people wants to have Agile. It was 20 years ago, developers wanted to have Agile. Currently, business people want to have Agile, but the problem is they still don't understand how Agile is working. And by using Scrum, so I know a lot of developers that don't like Scrum because pushes you to finish the work as soon as you can, and because of that you need to create a fast solution. And I was on Agile conference Serbia a year ago, where the Agile people spoke about that a team for just 3 months create technical debt. So
yes,
yeah,
exactly. In 3 months you can get legacy already.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Better create. Also, this is something that Venkat said me. He said me like this. How he said, I have 2 cookies. So this is the happy cookie, and this is unhappy cookie. So I can't give you this happy cookie right away. So this is like I finish the ticket very fastly. The business people are happy, but this is fast solution. And during the time, you will have bugs. But if time while time passes, those cookies are growing. So after 6 months, I will get your happy cookie and give you this unhappy cookie, and I will I will need to solve those bugs. But professional people are doing like it. I will not make the business people happy. I will create solution that is good straight away, and after 6 months you will not have a problems, and business people will be happy.
Meaning tests extendable, clean, well-focused code. Yeah, very good.
So,
tools for agile tracking. I'm not sure if that's very Scrum or Kanban. I'm not
well,
sure if you want.
we are doing Scrum.
Scrum. All right.
Yeah.
But what do you
even
think?
when we are fixing bugs.
Both of us. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Even with fixing bugs, Scrum. All right. Yeah. What do you think about dropping the code review completely? Panic. And do everything in pairs of 2, in changing pairs, rotating pairs, every day a different pair. And by the way, there was a question in the chat, how much time do you pair program? And the approximate answer was 2 hours per day. I like this, well, wow, I'm not sure your case.
Yeah, for simple tickets, we are doing pair programming, but we have 2 persons that are doing code review. So even if for example, 2 juniors can do pair programming, but still, I as a senior need to check code and I can find the problems.
Mm-hmm. And you have 2 reviewers, even if they pair programmed?
No, then that's the one reviewer. Yeah.
Okay, but then we only have 1 reviewer to our pull request, to our change set, as you will see after the presentation. All right. Plant. Are you using story points? Quick question from Thomas.
Yes, we are using story points, but unfortunately they are not working.
All right. I kind of expected that because you keep mentioning tickets. And if you are ticket based, it's complicated to estimate in story points. That's for more evolutions than fixes.
Yeah, they are currently they are not working in our team. So we need to we have tickets, we break them down, and we commit to those tickets. So we do with product owner and we say, okay, we will finish that and that ticket. We can do that. And after that, we are giving our best to finish all of those tickets.
Okay. And story points, complicated. So if we have a story point estimation, but we don't know, it doesn't work much for that. 50% of super performance, 50% of normal performance. It's a question related mostly to story points and people having different speeds, different performance of their own.
Yeah, this is this is Agile. So team creates first. For example, you have 1 ticket. That is the average. So you give the points for that ticket. So you say, for example, it's 5 points, and based on that ticket, you a team gives the scores to all other tickets. So it's
too late for this.
Yeah.
So, what?
But it's Agile.
But look. It's Agile. 1 question. You had prepared for us some stuff that we were supposed to start 40 minutes or 30 minutes ago. That's good that we have a lot of questions and a lot of debates. What do you want to do? Honestly, do you want to show us Gerrit, or do you think it's too late and perhaps you will show us another time? How do you prefer?
I can do something quickly, just to make people to point out why the Gerrit is good. All
right. So then go ahead, share the screen. So while you prepare, the point is, the problem is that we usually, to be easier to code review, we want fine-grained commits, super tiny commits that make it easy to understand how the code evolved. But personally, I saw teams committing hundreds of commits per week because it makes a mess out of their Git history. So Gerrit comes and tries to fill this gap. And what is Gerrit briefly? It's a tool How do you define Gerrit?
This is code review tool. Gerrit is a code review tool, and it's developed by Google. But as I read on internet, it's not used by Google. They are using their tool, but it came out from their best practices. So this +1+2 actually came from Gerrit. There is option to give +1+2. And why we love Gerrit? Because it's it has very clean user interface. So when you open Gerrit, you can see your draft comments, you can see ongoing reviews, the incoming reviews for. This is something that we are working some projects that we are how to say hobby projects.
Side projects.
Yeah, side projects. So I can share this with you. And for example, this is something with a lot of changes. If we open it, let's explain like this. This is better to better understand. When you work with Gerrit, you for one ticket you have just one commit. So it's called change set, but you have just one commit that you merge. So how it's done? For example, I can remove this one. I don't need it. And I will do like this. There is one changed file. Okay. Let me firstly synchronize with my repository. Okay. So I will, I will add, for example, to string method here. And oops. I have one changed file, so I will add it to staging. I will commit it. Don't do this on production. And now Git has special command for committing. So you say git push origin. This is origin where the Gerrit is located, and there is special syntax for headrefs for master. I don't know what it means, but it works. And when you commit, we can open that change set now.
But and you were on master right now. You were on master, and you started from master. You pushed to okay, continue.
Yeah, but I didn't push to master. I pushed for master. It's different. Okay. And Gerrit add something to your commit message. There is something like change ID. So now I decide that I want to add some other method. I know. Let's say like this. Okay. So this is example method.
Oh my God, what a signature. Oh my God. Okay, we can survive. We can do this. Come on. Whoa. All right.
For example, this is to map collection.
What an example. Okay. Return. My God. And probably collection of R, you mean, or T. Collection of T in the signature. Collection of T. The type at line 23.
Yeah. Is T.
Of T.
Yeah, yes. That's the one. It works.
Okay,
wow. So we added something. We have a lot of like this code to extract some property of list of objects, some kind of DTOs. So I need to get one parameter of it. For example, we have employee entity, and I need to get just a list of employee IDs, for example, in order to query database for those employee IDs. So we do a lot of those, but you can create the function that will do the job for you. So let's see how this works. I have already changed it, but your branch, my branch is ahead by one commit, but I will do like this: git dot and git commit amend. Yeah, I'm amending my current commit. My current commit is the one where I added to string, and I'm not adding new commit. I'm amending that commit. Understand?
And you basically amend to where you push in that ref4 master, something like that.
I'm doing this currently locally, but I will push it.
Oh,
so I'm changing my last commit. So I can say.
This is how you link them together.
I link them by change ID. Yeah. Okay. And now I can do this. And let's see what happens in Gerrit. So we had this change collection util, but when I refresh, I will have patch set 2. So I can check the differences between patch set 1 and patch set 2, or base and patch set 2. And how it's done. I turned out usually Gerrit works with Jenkins, so you can configure it to build your project, to start all of your tests, to run Sonar on your change. And if something of that is not working, you will get -1, so you will not be able to continue with your work. But I had to turn it off because I need to be able to submit my ticket. Something that I look very like with Gerrit is ability to comment not just line, but part of the line. So it's very clean your user interface, and you can
That's very cool. Yes.
Not just the comments are saved. For example, if you comment patch set 1, they will not go away. So you can mark them as a result, but they will be there.
And even in patch set 2, it's propagated. If you compare everything together.
No, you will see it just in patch set 1. So someone reviews your code, so you work on that, you fixed it, then you create new patch set. And for example, I can do this. So I'm now one commit ahead of my master, but I will do this git. So I will go back one commit.
Okay.
And now I can do something like, I don't know.
So you got back before your commit. Okay.
Yeah. And let's set example to string. And this is this, you can imagine this like some person working in parallel. So they are 2 persons checking out master version, and they're working on the same master on the same version. But you can do like this. So git add everything.
George says it doesn't look very simple, but the problem we're trying to solve is a very painful one.
Yeah, it's the painful, but we love it because we don't have a lot of commits. So you have you end up with a solution with just one commit, and it's whole your feature is there. And also Gerrit helps you understand. So if I push this, just to, okay. So if I refresh here, let's see what happens.
You started a different one, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Let's see.
Or am I wrong? Yeah, exactly, the different one, 245.
Okay.
It's 244, now 245.
It should show me.
Yes, it has one patch set.
Yeah, but usually what happens, it shows here that it has siblings. So you can go to that sibling commit. I'm not sure why it's not showing right now, but it shows you also hierarchy. It shows you parent commits and child commits. But for some reason, maybe I can open other commits just to be able to show you.
So different developments done on the same base, right?
Yeah, maybe because I changed my config. I did changing configuration of Gerrit, so probably because of that there is no this. So sorry, I cannot show you that. But I think they call it now trunk-based development, but it's in the essence this one. Yeah. So you have just one commit, but you can check the patch sets. So the information about your development stays here, and you have just
please continue.
And you have just one commit, and you have everything packed up. And Gerrit helps you have that synchronized with master branch. So if you have some problem, he will report you, and you can rebase that and fix the problem, and your ticket will be up to date all the time.
So you are telling me that it keeps track if you are starting to conflict with someone else?
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. So you don't have to rebase your stuff constantly to check that.
You can even rebase here. You see it. You can click here and to rebase it on top of the branch. And if there is some merge conflict, he will report you. So you need to get the code locally and do rebase and resolve the problems.
Emil asks, in the end, you still have one commit for the feature, right? But since we discussed this before, I can answer that myself. Gerrit will keep track that underneath that single commit that you see in your master, it's what you see right now in the screen. You will then later be able to navigate these individual patch sets, which please understand these as micro commits, like super tiny 5 minutes, 1 minute, 10 minutes commits.
Yeah.
So it keeps like a parallel history, basically.
Yeah, and something that I very, very much like in Gerrit, I didn't saw this power in other tools. I didn't saw it's so powerful like in Gerrit is searching. So you can search by, for example, by file name. It will show you all the change sets that are changing this file. And the way we are working on, it's usually one change, one ticket. So you will probably have here ticket number, and you will be able to go to that ticket to see why that file is changed in that ticket. And also there is integration with those tools. So usually we have here at the beginning a ticket number. So you just click here and it leads you to the ticket.
Nice.
Yeah, super useful.
And how do you see these comments? The feedback, the review, the comments, the reviewer added. How can you see them? You can see it here. I saw.
You can see it here, but you can also open it, and there are the comments.
Perfect. Is there any chance you can see this in IntelliJ?
Yeah, there is a chance, and you can do it. There is plugin, but unfortunately, it doesn't work very well for my setup. I would still recommend better to use Gerrit because it has great user interface. But if you can't, if you want to do that from IntelliJ, you can do it also. So I just need to first to filter it by the project. So it's great. You just click here, for example, and if you want to have this one, okay, this is the only one. Double click. There are the files. Open it. This is new file. Usually it shows me diff if there is something changed, but those files are new, and I can do add comment. So I don't. This is very cool. And I can save it, but there is problems with some doesn't work. It worked on my setup, and you can do it.
So you will be able to review the stuff in your IDE directly.
Yeah, someone who likes IDE, this is a great tool for you.
How hard is it to set up all these? George asks. How much time should dedicate?
Well, Gerrit is not very easy to set up. So probably you will need everything in order to have Jenkins working, SonarQube working, and everything. And you don't know anything, probably a week.
Scratch. Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe more than a week. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It depends of person if he's familiar with it. It's I think the hardest thing is to set up this logging, because Gerrit has some primitive logging mechanism, but they don't recommend it. So you need to wire it up with some login LDAP or something like that in order to be able to use it effectively.
Just one more view on the review flow. I remember you told me something about Sonar being present in the reviewer list. Can you show us one change set one patch set that was reviewed? Some an old one that was worked on.
Yeah.
From past.
Well, I had to change the configuration because I could not merge my commits. Sonar was not working. Someone changed the configuration, but I didn't have time to deal with that. But usually we have here, so we have Jenkins and we have Sonar as reviewer, and we have comments from Sonar. So for example, we have comments.
Fine.
This is cool. But here Sonar commented. Major Sonar violation. Yeah, we have comments, so we can open here, and we can see that. Let's see where is the Sonar. Yeah, here's the Sonar.
This one, Jenkins major Sonar cube.
Yeah, yeah. So we will not be able to merge this commit until we resolve all those problems.
Sounds very cool. Sounds very. Finally a tool, for me at least. Finally a tool.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Okay, that's all.
Good. That's it. Thanks a lot for staying a bit longer than expected with us. It's all recorded, so if you miss one part, you can see it on YouTube. Maybe put the slide with your contact details, and if there are any other questions, please shoot. I think I tracked all of the questions, and thanks a lot for being so responsive.
I can copy.
Very cool. And yeah. We shared that in chat. We shared. Okay. There have been a lot of. I think 100 messages in the chat in the meantime. And two or three people told me that you did a great job as an English presenter. So just,
great, thank you.
Just for the record, you should do it again. Good. All right. Thank you a lot for your energy and effort. And yeah, see you in the next evening. It's late. I have to leave.
Yeah, thank you.
Kill me.
Thank you, Victor. Thanks everybody for staying up and listening to this presentation.
Right. Okay. Right. Bye, take care, people. Take care, folks. Thanks a lot, Marko, and have a nice evening. Bye-bye. All right. And we end the stream on YouTube.